guys, and welcome back to the Indie Spotlight here on the Fronsman Productions YouTube channel. If you're new to the series, this is where I take a look at independent movies to help shine a spotlight on some of the amazing talent out there making indie films. Today we're going to talk about Richard Russell's short drama, It'll Be Okay. It'll Be Okay was written by Allison Marie Rogers and directed by Richard Russell. The movie stars Jacob Rail, who plays Christian, a teenage boy with a dark secret. Though at first everything seems normal as Christian and his parents, played by Doug Esper and Allison Marie Rogers, enjoy breakfast, everything gets really dark and grim after the news reporter states that it'll be a full moon tonight. From that point, although it's not explicitly stated, it becomes very clear to the audience that Christian is actually a werewolf. And from there, his parents take measures to prevent Christian from being able to break free and kill anybody by chaining him up down in the basement. However, they are concerned that as Christian's gotten older, his werewolf powers have kind of gotten a little out of hand and he's starting to get stronger. Well, in the middle of the night, sure enough, Christian ends up breaking free, and we find out the next morning through the news report that he did in fact kill somebody that night when he got free. At that point, Christian's parents really do get into a lot of discussion over how powerful their son's getting and how difficult the werewolf side of him is getting to control. And is there anything that they can do to try to keep him under control or stop him? So that's all that I'll say about the plot to avoid spoilers. Instead, I want to focus on some of the filmmaking aspects that you can learn from as you go into making your own movies. One thing that you'll notice when you watch It'll Be Okay is that at no point in the movie do we ever actually see Christian in his werewolf form. Instead, Richard Russell shows us shots throughout the house as well as Christian's parents while he's transforming, and we hear the sounds, we hear the screams of pain, we hear the chains rattling, we hear the growls, and we hear all this, but we're taken into the perspective of the parents as this is going on. Likely, it probably would have been difficult to get the, on a low budget, to get the kind of practical effects and makeup that you would have needed to really properly show Christian as a werewolf. But I also think that creatively it does a good job of putting us more into the perspective of Christian's parents and hearing all the sounds and the unknown and leaving it up to the audience to imagine what kind of monstrosity he's transforming into. And when we hear the glass shattering, there's a lot of that, unknown of what's going to happen that helps us identify more with Christian's parents, as rather than being, a standard creature feature, It'll Be Okay takes the werewolf genre and it spins it around to be more of a family drama that really focuses more on the perspective of the parents and what can they do when their son is this monster that they can't control and that's killing people. And in some ways, it could even be seen as an allegory to, parents of actual killers. And how do you balance loving your child with, the guilt of knowing that your child has killed people? On a technical level, I also think that Richard Russell does a wonderful job throughout the movie of conveying, this feeling of hopelessness and dread through the visuals and through the sound design. On a visual perspective, if you look at the color scheme throughout the movie, there's a lot of dullness and a lot of grays that really hone in on this feeling of depression when everything just looks as bleak as it feels. In addition, I really think that the song that Richard Russell uses for both the intro credits and the end credits, I think that also helps convey this sad feeling and this state of mind, this depression and this hopelessness. And I think that as a filmmaker, it's really worth watching It'll Be Okay just because of the fact that Richard Russell does such a great job throughout the movie of using visual cues and using audio and sound design to convey this feeling of dread and hopelessness and misery. And you as a filmmaker watching this is a good study on how can you use, these visual and audio elements to help convey an emotion, to help set the feeling and the atmosphere for your movie. And you can watch It'll Be Okay right now here on YouTube. And as always, I'm gonna link down to the film in the description so you can go ahead and check that out. But that is all that I have for you guys here today. Remember, if you like this content and you want to see even more videos on indie filmmaking, then go ahead and subscribe, drop a like, and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any videos here on the Fronsman Productions YouTube channel. And if you yourself are an independent filmmaker and you'd like for me to talk about your movie on the Indie Spotlight, go ahead and in the comments, let me know what's the name of your movie, where can I watch it, and I'll add that to my watch list to talk about in a future episode. But until next time, that's a wrap.